Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Strollin Trollin. Yes, the series that you thought was dead is in fact now dead. It's undead, like The Last of Us. That's right. After a long hiatus of multiple months that I do not know how long it was. Very long, very long,
years,
very
more like.
long. Too long, baby. We're back. Lots of strolls and trolls to be had, and you couldn't stay away forever. So, I'm here with my cohorts, LikunMiffery and Jeffofthemellows.
Hello, LikunMiffery. He didn't say hi back.
That's because I don't like you.
Likus, you can't be doing visual gags on a podcast.
Didn't do a visual gag. I guess I pushed up my glasses.
This isn't I'm the best. There's no video to go along with. Unless you're watching it on the Jeffofthemellows YouTube channel. Maybe if I decide I'm putting it there, maybe it'll go up on the Pringleson official podcast network channel that I'll make. I'll use one. I'll turn C into that.
Who knows? And then other stuff will go there too, and I'll have my Friday schedule open again, and my foot itches. Ow!
You have itchy pain? Is that a thing?
That's the kind of content that we waited these months to give you.
Itchy foot content. We're back, baby. Itchy foot. For real.
But we're back. We got a lot of things that we want.
It's frozen.
Oh no.
He has a bad thumbnail face. He has a bad freaking picture face. Even his freeze frames are funny. You can see the concern in his eyes freezes into eternity. We are so back.
Really not even 5 minutes in, and we have a technical failure. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I guess we'll continue on without Likus and he'll show up.
But there's lots of stuff that we have to cover and talk about. There's a better structure.
Shadow Wizard Buddy Gang. We love casting spells.
I'm back. I'm glad it still plays my entrance music when it's because the internet disconnected.
Oh yeah, obviously. You came back, you were gone.
That's true.
You were at least gone mentally for a while there. You had this concerned look on your face. I was so concerned for you.
Oh yeah, my internet was disconnected for like 2 minutes.
Is it gonna happen a lot?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay. Something to look forward to. Grab your snacks. Smack your cracks.
Yeah. Got a lot. We have a better structure now. Very good structure. Very good structure.
It's the same structure.
I'm Donald Trump. Very good structure. Very good structure. I'm not Donald Trump anymore.
Trump, blah, blah, blah.
So we'll got a lot of great stuff to look forward to. Today we are going to be solving a very, very hot topic internet debate.
Hello?
I'm saying.
This is just like old times.
Today we're going to be solving a very hot topic internet debate that's been going around for a while. And it's the debate of who would win in this battle. 100 men or one single gorilla. So we're going to solve that today. So, talked about it a lot at work. There's a girl I work
You're gonna
with.
do small talk at all?
Sure. I don't know.
Tyler, you have small talk to talk about.
I got that.
Tyler, We said we weren't going to get to the part of the podcast where we show things off.
This is different.
The episode
This
is over.
different.
We got 5 minutes.
Tyler, people can't see that in the audio-only podcast realm.
I got a Pringles stand there. Put my Pringles cans on it, so now they're in my videos. Also, funny story.
You should have fully commit and put it on your ping pong table.
What?
You should have commit and put it on your ping pong table right behind you.
I think it's too tall. I don't know. Nah, who cares? Anyway,
your headphones are supposed to go on your ears.
Yes. They're on my head.
Turn to the right again for me, buddy. That's the left. Turn your head to the. Come on, keep going. That headset is not on that ear, buddy.
Yeah, I have to be able to hear things that are going on in the outside realm and the inside realm.
That's a visual gag.
We've been doing a lot of visual gags. We're not very good at podcasting.
So also, you can see the burn marks on my fingers from. I got a funny story about that. So, I was cutting the grass yesterday, and no, this was 2 days ago. What's today? Wednesday? This was 2 days ago.
We're dating the video.
And there's a whole thing.
Happy Wednesday, May 14th, 2025 at 7:15 p.m.
There's this whole property dispute that's been going on between two of our neighbors for a while. And so the one neighbor's solution to all of that has been to put like markers in where their property line is. They're the same like markers that people use for their lawns with like snow plows. So it's like when there's a lot of snow, so snow plows know where they can't go.
Driveway is?
Yeah. So I was trying to mow around it because part of it is like some of the grass was on our side of the property, trying to get around it, and the stick got caught in the handlebar of the lawnmower, and then it flicked and like whipped me in the arm, and it hurt like hell because the top of it is metal. So I let go of the mower, and that shut it off. And I was like, okay, no big deal. I'll just have to restart it and continue going. I'll just be a little whipped in the arm. And then, then I tried to restart the lawnmower, and I heard a really loud pop. And it sounded like a gunshot going off, so that was not good. I'm like, oh boy. So I brought it up to our back patio, see if it just needed to start on a harder surface, and that didn't work.
Did you duck for cover when the gunshot went?
I will not clarify on that.
Can you clarify on that?
No.
Tyler, quit doing another visual gag.
But, so I was like, okay, maybe the blade snapped. Maybe the blade broke. So I flipped the lawnmower over to see if the blade was broken. It wasn't. So then I flipped the lawnmower back over, and I was like, oh, maybe the engine just needs to be primed or something. Because on my grandma's
You don't know how lawnmowers work, do you?
Well, on my grandmother's lawnmower, there's like a button that you got to press a couple times and then start it up because it's old. So I was like, oh, our lawnmower is also old. It must have the same feature, even though I've never had to use it on this lawnmower. So I was looking for where that button might be, and I couldn't find it. And I settled on this like little silver contraption thing that had a hole in it. Like, oh, the button must be there. Well, it wasn't. That was not where the button was. That was the exhaust pipe, and it had only been about maybe 5 minutes since the lawnmower had shut off, so it was about 300 degrees. I touched the silver part with my fingers, and I burnt them. So
what? Wait, your plan? What? You heard a gunshot. You flipped over the lawnmower. Blade wasn't broken, so you went to go.
There was no gunshot.
Unquote, you went to
there
go.
was no gunshot.
Prime the engine by touching the exhaust pipe. Were you? What? This isn't the Cars universe. You don't yank their chain every time you want to turn them on. What is your train of thought here?
Good question.
How did you touch the exhaust pipe thinking that would help the lawnmower turn on?
Because I
Still
thought...
upside down when you were trying to turn it on?
No. I flipped it over to see if the blade broke. The blade wasn't broke. I thought the exhaust pipe was actually where you needed to prime it. It was not that, and I burnt my fingers.
Why did you think that?
Because I'm stupid. Okay, we'll get back to this. This will be a thing that I'll talk about later. Anyway, I put the mower on the side of the house, walked inside, put some ice on my fingers, waited 20 minutes, came back out, decided to give it another shot. It just somehow fucking worked. And then I finished cutting the grass and I was done. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how.
It's because you jaked it off by touching the exhaust pipe.
That must be. It must be.
To prime the lawnmower.
See, the viewing audience, or the listening audience, doesn't even know what we just laughed at.
We laughed at him jaking off the lawnmower to prime it.
True.
Like Logan Paul and KSI.
Oh, true.
Yeah. My fingers don't hurt anymore, but you can still kind of see the burn welts. They're not really there anymore, though. And yeah. Fun times that was.
Fun times at the lawnmower. So have you learned how to lawn mows? have you learned how to mow lawn?
Yes. That'll be my 5th job. Call me if you want your mow lawn.
Call me if your name is Mo and you inspect your lawn. I'll launder your mows. My small talk. It's my turn to tell small talk. So I have a day to talk about, right? It was an event structure that kind of came together in a glorious and fantastical event, right?
Love it.
So I went to the dentist, correct?
Today? Oh.
A couple days ago? I don't remember. It was one of those days. It was a day of the week, I think. I went to the dentist, and it was just for a cleaning. Everything was fine. Everything was dandy. They, gongled my teeth and covered them in that minty cream, and then brushed them with the spinny thingy. You know what I mean? The thing where they
the hose.
It's in your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't like dentists. I'll be honest. Dentists, not a fan.
I also don't like dentists.
I don't like them because it feels like I literally brush my teeth every day. I don't floss as often as I should be, but I do floss. And somehow every other time I go to the dentist, I have a new cavity that they haven't told me about. Or the last time I went to the dentist, they said, "Hey, there's a dark spot in your tooth we've been looking at for 3 years. We're gonna drill that out today." And then they opened it up and they were like, "Hey, this is a lot deeper than we thought it was. This is kind of crazy." And I'm like, I'm so glad you looked at that for 3 years and did nothing about it. It's so awesome. And so now they ask me this question every time I go in there. So does your tooth hurt that we drilled that we were watching for 3 years? Because if it is, we're gonna have to do a root canal. Luckily, it doesn't hurt, so nobody's at fault. But for a while there, I did have a weird feeling in between my teeth, and I thought that they had left something in between my teeth. Results are not in on that one. I'll be honest. I don't know if I'm crazy or if they actually did, and they're just gaslighting me. But yeah, so went to the dentist, and they were like. They asked me the question. They were like, "Hey, is there anything wrong with this tooth?" Almost as if they wanted to drill me. You know what I mean? They wanted to drill out my tooth again.
Well, they want that sweet dollar signs. That's what they are looking for.
Exactly, right. So when I told them there was nothing wrong, they were almost disappointed. Oh, okay. And then they moved on to another tooth on the other side of my face. And then they were like, "Hey, There's a filling over there that looks kind of old. It was done in 2022. If you want everything in your mouth to be in tip-top shape, the highest quality it can be, we can re-drill that and refill it for you. So is there anything wrong with it? No. So why would I want it re-drilled and refilled? Well, if you want your mouth to be the highest possible quality it could be, then this is the way to go. They were trying to upsell me on a new cavity filling. And I'm not even sure that I have cavities, I'll be honest. I've never seen a cavity. My teeth never hurt every time they tell me they have cavities until after they drill them out. I don't know if that's normal. I'm told that cavities make your teeth hurt. And
I think it depends on how deep they get.
I'm kind of just convinced that they're just drilling holes in my teeth because I really want to, and that there's no cavities, and they're just using that as an excuse to drill holes in my teeth.
And then they fill them up with microchips.
In my teeth?
Yeah. Because the vaccine doesn't get to
Oh,
your
you're
teeth.
right. They're putting the cyanide pill in my teeth.
Yeah.
So I
Where'd
can
you
kill
go?
myself if I ever get captured by the Americans.
Every time I
Not
go...
me. Good job.
Pringleson, what do you think about the
Move on
microchip?
from what I just said. Move on from the implications of me being kidnapped by the Americans and not the Germans.
Pringleson, what do you think about the microchips in your teeth?
Well, I don't know about that, but what I will say is about the dentist, every time I go there without fail, the issue with me is never my teeth. It's always about my weight, which is the
At the dentist?
Yes. Literally, I could literally like vaguely describe both a trip to the dentist and a trip to the doctor for me, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference if you didn't know prior. Like,
Why do they comment on your weight at the dentist? Hey Tyler, looking a little chubby today. By the way, your teeth are fine.
well, they're always like, we're hoping that maybe you'll cut down on some of your sweets. I mean, we're not seeing any results here. It could cause some problems 2-3 years down the line. Well, guess what? 5-6 years have passed and nothing has fucking happened.
It's because they're doctors and they're paid to lie to you.
That's
And
so
sell,
true.
they're actually lobbied to tell you to try these products that big pharmaceuticals want you to try.
They were also
Oh
They
yeah,
want your money.
that is true.
They were also begging me for the longest time to get my wisdom teeth out because they thought it was going to be a problem. Turns out it didn't. It was not a problem. They're still in there. They haven't caused any issues.
Ooh. You should get those out though before you get too old, because then they actually do become a problem and they're like 10 times worse. It's like if you don't get chicken pox when you're a kid and you get them when you're an adult, then they're called shingles and they could kill you and cause permanent brain damage.
Like brain chicken pox.
That's why I've got the vaccine microchips in me for.
Or wait, shingles is only if you already have chicken pox.
Is that if you get it? I thought if that's if you never
It's
had
like
it. When
if you get it as a kid and then it stays in your brain for 50 years and then it gives you shingles.
Goes dormant. It gets frozen in the polar ice caps in the northern segment of your brain.
They used to run commercials for shingles vaccinations and whatnot all the time. And it was like, if you had chickenpox, the shingles virus is already inside you. Call this number to get that sorted out. And I'm like...
And then 5 years later, you see those ads. If you tried this medicine, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
Yeah, it's like if you drank the water at this random ass military camp in North Carolina between the years of 1936 and 1983, you were maybe entitled to financial compensation. And it's like, why am I seeing this?
Can't wait to see the Ozempic ones. If you tried Ozempic and you are suffering from chromoidal health violations of the 5th degree, you may be entitled to skin compensation. Your skin will turn like green or shit. The Ozempic virus.
Green Goblin?
Ooh, that would be cool. If I knew if I took an Ozempic it would turn me into the Green Goblin, I think I would do that drug.
What if Ozempic was just a drug created by Willem Dafoe to turn people into the Green Goblin, and it wasn't actually for weight loss or anything?
James Corden Green Goblin is not a sight that I want to behold.
Well, Willem Dafoe couldn't control who took Ozempic. He could only control what Ozempic did. So
Can you imagine though? What a way for the lizard people of the planet to take over. They turn people into they get people fat, and then on purpose, right? They upsell the food pyramid, right? Which is, oh my god, guys, I'm having an epiphany. So the food pyramid, the food pyramid is literally a pyramid scheme, right? In a way, where like the old way it used to be, it was structured in such a way where like grains, fats, when it's really the fats that are bad, because it's carbs versus fats. Where keto is all about eating fat and not eating grains, right? So they designed these false pyramids and implemented McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell's everywhere on the planet to fatten up people, right? And then they followed this pyramid and said, "Hey guys, sorry, pyramid's wrong." But
Wilson fell asleep.
I'm still alive. Keep talking.
Hey guys, pyramid's wrong. We're throwing it out the window. And in every place where we used to have a pyramid made out of food, we're going to put in a new Taco Bell or a new KFC, right? And so the fast food industry has only increased since the reversion of the pyramid scandal. And then, we get to this point where we're 10 years past the pyramid now, and it's like, hey, weight gain is an issue. It's the number one killer in America. Number one cancer. And, now they're like, hey, you should lose weight. You'd be healthy this way, right? So they introduced Ozempic, right? And Ozempic, I don't know if you've heard any of the problems that some people have. It's very specific people, like where they literally shit and vomit all the time, nonstop, uncontrollably. There's like a lady, I can't remember what her name is, that has that problem now because she took Ozempic, lost a bunch of weight, and then had that problem and can't keep weight. Like, there are some real serious health problems that Ozempic could cause. But I think Tyler's onto something, right? The lizard people that implemented the fast food industries and the false pyramid of food then backrolled on the false pyramid of food, right? And so now they're selling Ozempic to people to turn them into lizards, to awaken their lizard gene that they've bred into humans for the past 400 years, to turn us all into them. But because we're more human than lizard, we will become their slaves and build their food pyramids for them.
I could see that happening.
Dude, I might need to find a different podcast. I'm gonna get lumped in with a very strange group of people.
You're gonna see me on Joe Rogan in 2 weeks. How's it going, Joe? I have one condition. Never let Neil deGrasse Tyson back on this podcast ever again.
Dude, I keep getting Joe Rogan clips where he's talking to fucking Robert Downey Jr. on my YouTube short. I watch them, so that's why they keep giving them to me. Like, I know that, but I don't normally like Joe Rogan, but sometimes he does just have like a guy on there and they talk.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, I watched the Mr. Beast episode, I watched the Robert Downey Jr. one. I don't feel like it's like a normal conversation, but then he'll get that one guy, the really skinny guy. What's his name?
I mean, there are a lot of people that he talks to that I think are probably bad. I don't know.
No, but there's like this specific Jordan Peterson. That's his name.
Oh yeah.
He gets him on all the time, and Jordan Peterson will be like, "I think women are bad," and Joe Rogan will be like, "Oh, hamburger."
I'm just like, Jamie, this guy might be onto something. Pull up something on the TV.
He's right. Ancient Mesopotamians.
I keep getting the AI generated ones where it's just like Joe Biden saying, instead of funding $1 billion to the Department of Education, we could take this money to the casino, double it, and then give $2 billion to the Department of Education to build casinos in schools because gambling is our fundamental God-given right. or some shit like that.
You know what's funniest about that statement that you just made is that 90% of the funding for schools, quote unquote, comes from like lottery winnings or whatever, right? Because they always say, you know, part of that goes to the schools. And it's just so funny to me because, like, I don't notice any improvements every time somebody wins $1 billion and they take out $300 million for taxes, and then the schools are still trash, and then they remove funding for education and increase the price of like lottery tickets and stuff. So like the money that they were already not getting is gone again, but 2 times increase.
Double it and give it to the next person, is what they must think.
Double it and give it to the Department of Agriculture.
They already get enough breaks.
Because they're lizards, right?
Exactly.
So
they create the whole thing.
Exactly.
I have like a health bar above me that's determining how long I stay in the podcast, and it's going down every time you talk about the lizard people.
But like realistically, like there are definitely candidates for who is a lizard person. I think honestly, Willem Dafoe is a legitimate candidate for someone who could be a lizard person. You know what I mean? Like he's such a weird guy. Like we've got Willem Dafoe, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Who's the Facebook guy? What's Mark
Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg.
Marco Rubio.
Mark Ruffalo's the Hulk. But like, think about like the richest people of the people in government and how stupid they seem to all of us. And yet they're all also really weird people.
I think having a lot of money just makes you weird.
But like also the lizard people are trying to get back to their home planet, and that's why Jeff Bezos invented the penis rocket. And Teslas.
They're going to Penis Land.
Oh God, no! I'm getting Bog World flashbacks now. No, it's hell where it's just tits flying everywhere.
Okay, wait. Noah, I was looking at your playlist. Did you add songs from those movies to your playlist?
To what playlist?
Your big music playlist.
Oh, the Good Times or whatever?
Yeah.
I added, I Think God Smokes Weed.
Yeah.
I added that one to my playlist,
but that was
too.
it, I think. Been adding a lot of, like, really old to that.
There's plenty of them. Or maybe, yeah. There is Minecraft Shape Your World, which I haven't listened to yet. So
that's a funny, weird one.
We'll have to make a tier list of all of Jeffrey's songs in this playlist.
Jeffrey made that, and there's 2 LikunMiffery songs in there.
Oh, I did? I put in a song that's actually good, and then I put in the Steve's Lava Chicken remix that he made.
Great.
The Jack Black, and the Peaches remix that Jack Black made.
Great.
So.
Goated.
Bangers all around.
Bangers and mash. What can I say? But anyway.
Love Jack Black. He is not a lizard person.
Oh, definitely not. Jack Black is far from
Jack Black. Jack Black's
easily.
on the Jack Black is 100% human.
Jack Black. Who would win? 1 lizard or 100 Jack Blacks?
Oh, the Jack Blacks. 100%.
Jack Blacks. Even the other way around, 100 lizards and 1 Jack Black.
Did Likus just say 100 blacks?
No, I said 100 Jack Blacks. Is my internet connection clicking me right now?
Censor bar.
My health bar is decreasing again.
Your charisma bar is going up.
Oh my God, that reminds me. One of the things Robert Downey Jr. said in that because Joe Rogan asked him about Tropic Thunder, and he said that he thought being in the movie was a really terrible idea, and then he did it anyway, of course. And then he said afterward that 90%, that's a quote, of his black friends said they loved it.
I've seen the clip. Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah. Tyler, play the clip now.
Jeffy, pull it up. Anyway, back to my small talk, which we tangented very well away from. So after the dentist tried to upsell me on my cavity filling, I had a haircut scheduled, Jeffy cut,
Nice.
like an hour after. So I just was like hanging out, right? Just kind of like doing random things, buying things I didn't, the average shopping experience.
Like that Squidward painting?
No, I've had that for a while.
Oh.
I bought that the same time I bought one for Likus.
It's in my kitchen.
It's in his kitchen.
Kitchen tour?
Kitchen tour? Oh my god, we could do an apartment tour. Me and Tyler give the apartment tour of your apartment.
Hello, everybody. I'm LikunMiffery. Welcome to my apartment tour.
I am LikunMiffery, and he's Garfield.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know in the recording if he's to my left, but
Nope, not even
Me,
close.
it's this way, so.
Is he down here?
Yep, I'm below both of you, so that's...
You are below me and mine as well. So Likus is over there.
We should be dancing, yeah.
Quit doing visual bits, Tyler.
I mean, the two of us did just spend like a minute pointing at each other.
It's okay. We're exempt from the law. We're not lizards, or maybe we are lizards.
Well, did you take Ozempic?
You've been awfully quiet since the accusation of lizardom. There's another visual.
Not
bit.
a reassuring sight.
I am not a lizard person. I'm like Jack Black.
I've got a disconcerting boner.
Nobody is like Jack Black. Jack Black is his own entity, okay? He might be the only true human. It's like, how you talked about earlier about the mini lizard genomes being bred into everybody. Well, Jack Black, it's
Where is he going with this?
It's like from what movie am I thinking about? It's from Ratchet and Clank. Remember when all the army robots are being made, and then the one malfunction.
Jack Black is Clank.
Yeah, Jack Black is Clank, and the rest of us are like the army robots. Yeah,
he's the defective lizard. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it was an unsuccessful breed of the genome, so doesn't have it.
The genome?
What is it?
Or it's like Ellie from The Last of Us, where he has the reverse version of the genome, so it actually is like an anti-genome.
Jack Black has the cure to lizarddom in his blood. The cure to Ozempic.
The cure to Ozempic is Taco Bell.
No, because the lizard people implemented the Taco Bell. We don't know what's in Taco Bell. We don't know what they put in Cheez-Its.
No Taco Bell?
I assume they would put at least a little bit of cheese in Cheez-Its, but maybe not. Maybe it's like cheese extract.
Simulated cheese. Also, cheese extract would probably count as cheese.
Well, no, because what are they fruit juices that say no actual juice? What is that? What do they say on there?
I don't know the exact wording, but it's something like that.
It's something like there is no juice.
Hey, let me see. Let me see what the sparkling ice says.
I'll bet you sparkling ice has
contains 1% juice.
Yeah. So what the hell is the rest in there?
Water.
What? I heard an Elder Guardian noise. That was strange. I've got mining fatigue now.
There's bats.
After my hour in between dentist and haircut, I go to get my haircut, and it's somewhere I've never been before, right? But I figured, it's right next to the dentist. I'll just go there. It'll be fine. Whatever. I go in there, and I've gotten haircuts before. I mean, I feel like that's an obvious statement, but also at the same time, I have had very long fro hair before. The longest it's ever been was in the Mountain Dew ice cream video that we did.
It took up like half the screen or so.
It did. It really did. It was like a whole segment of the screen was just my hair. I don't remember who was in the back seat of that car, but you don't either because they were behind my hair.
I think it was Ann Pomeroy. It might have been Eli. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It wasn't like
it might have been It might have been one of the three other people. One of the three people it could have been.
Well,
Tyler.
It was definitely
Garry?
not. It was definitely not Likus because Likus was at his exam, and that's why we were doing the video in the first place.
Oh yeah.
You're so right. Anyway,
That's so long ago now. Now I'm like elderly.
Where's your cane?
when are you gonna get a billfold?
I already have 4.
You have 4 billfolds?
Yeah.
Why? You don't have any money.
Well, Pringleson actually needs to start paying me for the hours I've been putting in.
You owe me money.
I do owe you money.
You owe me $32 in legal fees.
Illegal fees. I guess it is. I guess we did buy the White House, so I don't. I guess you might be able to consider that a legal fee. Anyway, so I'm getting my hair cut. This is the interesting part of the story, right? Other than the dentist trying to upsell cavity filling, right? So I'm getting my hair cut, and it's like a normal thing, right? You know what a hairstylist is like. So they're like telling you, they're asking you what you want, you know, they're cutting your hair and they're making. But this was like some woman with green hair who was probably like a couple years older than us. I guess me and Tyler. Likus is like a little boy.
True.
Even though he feels
So true.
elderly for some reason. So the green-haired woman is cutting my hair and like she's kind of risen me up, and it's weird, but she's attractive, so I'm kind of into it. And you know, she's playing with my hair, and cutting it and whatnot, and I'm like, this is pretty good. And then like she'll slip in little comments about how she's been with someone for 12 years, and then she'll go back to rizzing me up, right? And it's really weird, and it's making me like kind of uncomfortable because, like, you know, for a while there, I was like, this is pretty cool. Might stick around. Get a little bit more than a haircut. And then she's like slips that in there, and then she still tries to, and it's like, what's going on here? So I'm like deep in thought. We're talking about like autism and stuff.
What? It's a wild haircut.
Because while I'm at work, every time I go to like fan or whatever, or like a light, sometimes I shock myself. And instead of being like, oh no, I shocked myself, I am instead like, yippee, I should do that again. Because I have like if somebody gives me like the taser gum, like I'll pull it for fun. Lick it with my tongue or whatever, because like the thrill of the shock. I don't know if that makes any sense. And we were talking about how we both share that commonality, where, you know, the one more time thing.
Baby, one more time.
And then she's like, she slips in another one of those like, oh yeah, and then with 12 years, and then she'll go back to being like, so what do you do for work? Okay. So it felt really weird. We started talking about like words that are interesting, and I was like, what about befuzzlement? That's a weird word. Not even sure if it's a real word. You know, Likus, befuzzlement. Definition.
It's a word.
It is a word.
It is.
That's good. Because I said it was with confidence.
Wow. Yeah, you would have been. Yeah, you would have been cooked if it wasn't.
She would have looked it up, and then I would have been excluded from this weird shadow wizard money gang party.
That's right.
But anyway, I think she was trying to get me to be their third, and I was getting really creeped out by the end of it. I'm not gonna lie.
You were gonna get into the swinger lifestyle.
Well, it was getting really weird because she was telling me like really little things about. We ended up talking about like alcohol and how it like her partner drank before he was legal. I assume it's a he. I don't know that actually, to be fair. wasn't really interested in finding out, I'm gonna be honest. But like, I guess they were only drinking before they were legal. Stop drinking, kind of like. And like, she feels like she missed out on drinking, and I'm like, kind of like, well, I think you'll appreciate the fact that you never drank. And it was getting like really weird and personal. And then she was talking about like how she drinks with her eyes sometimes, and like, I'm kind of like just sitting there, get my hair cut, like, yeah, okay. I kind of get creeped out a little bit. And, you know, we just keep talking, and she talks about her significant other's parents and how they're like little Mexican people, and they don't speak English at all, and they just drink and scream in Spanish, and she has no idea what they're saying. And I'm just kind of like sitting there like, is my hair done yet? Is it look good? Do I look good?
The haircut of your entire life.
It kind of was. And like every so often she'd have to like do something, and then I would just be like sitting there, kind of like chilling, twiddling my thumbs, with, like a comb in my hair. I'm just like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then at the end of it, I was just kind of like, okay, see ya. You know, I paid her. I said, bye. Have a good day. Because it was really weird, really like me out a little bit. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, if they ever split up, I'll be there. Right? We can cry and drink together. Like, I don't have any problem with that, you know? But at the same time, I was kind of like, this is a weird conversation. Part of. I'm so glad that I now know your significant other's little Mexican parents is a mess. Like, what? Who tells people this when they're getting their hair cut? Like, that's not how small talk works.
I always feel very uncomfortable when people just tell me their random life stories while I'm trying to get my damn hair cut. It's bizarre, like, how open some of these hairstylists are. It's honestly quite interesting, because often it actually is better, because it's better than when they ask about me, because I don't like talking to these people that I most likely never see again, or only see a couple of times, maybe ever. So
I mean, it's not like I didn't enjoy talking to her. Like, the conversation was good and it was interesting and it was pretty funny to hear like these personal things. But like at the same time, like don't say you like playing with my hair and then say you've been with someone for 12 years. You know, that's the weird part, right? Like, are you trying to recruit me? Is this some sort of suicide squad? What am I doing here? Like,
on the way out,
10 out of 10 will go back.
on the way out the door, you should have recommended Kahlua and Mug as a drink.
I didn't even get to talk. I was going to talk about how I used to vape, and the banana vape was my favorite vape. Remember that time I accidentally left the vape at your house?
Oh yeah, you left it under the kitchen table and I almost got murdered.
I didn't leave it under the kitchen table. I didn't put it there.
It was planted.
I was just under your kitchen table vaping. I think your cat stole it out of my like coat pocket or something and dragged it under there and then hid it and was just like, not a big fan of banana, and then just left it there. And then your mom found it and was like, Tyler, are you gay?
Thank God my mom didn't find it, because otherwise I would not be here right now.
That's funny considering your brotherly issues.
We won't get into that. But
one day, maybe one day we'll be able to talk about it. Just like your love life. That's a topic coming up. We'll talk about that this time around.
True.
We might even get him to share the peach story, which we already know now, and it's not even that bad.
I know.
It's those are also not associated. My love life and the peach story are not associated at all.
Well, now you have to tell the story, or they'll think it is related.
It's funnier if you associate them together. If you take peach in its innuendous form, innuendous. I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds
Probably
like
not.
it should be.
It is now. Like Binker.
Add it to the list. Pyramid lizards.
We already talked about it. We're going to talk about it again.
No, I mean, add innuendous to the list.
Dude.
I'm telling the pyramid lizards to put it in the education system. I know they're listening. They're big fans.
Okay.
They're big fans of me and Joe Rogan. Me specifically, because I'm onto their game. And Likus is a lizard denier. Or he's a lizard. Anyway, Likus, what have you been up to for the past 6 years since we recorded Strollin Trollin?
I moved, as they say.
How's that been going?
I'm they. I say that I moved.
How's that been going?
Would you say that?
How has the moved life been going?
It's strange to be in a house that doesn't have a billion people in it all the time.
Apartment?
No. It could be a condo that he's renting. Okay, it could be a condo. We don't know this. We haven't been there yet. Okay.
It's like a penthouse suite.
Are there people above you?
No, actually, I'm on the top floor.
So
You should stomp around.
Is there an elevator to get up to the top floor in your apartment?
It's only 3 floors, Tyler.
But is there an elevator?
No.
This is horrendous. There's going to be no more elevator vertigo.
That's true. You won't be able to do a review.
That's okay.
Tyler is legitimately concerned because he doesn't want to walk up the stairs.
And you only have to go up like 1.5 flights of stairs anyway.
Tyler's
so you'll
like,
be okay.
Tyler's like, I'm not sure if my fat ass will fit up the stairway. Do you have a 500-pound limit elevator for my fat ass?
Now, I have another question, because I'm going to be arriving pretty late into the night, most likely. Am I in danger of getting attacked when I leave my... like, around... Not in the apartment, but, like, around the apartment? If I, like in the
You're
general,
like 2 feet from the building. You'll be okay.
They could be in the bushes. They could be in like a side panel. People like your Amazon like your Amazon package that got spawn killed the other day.
That was true. That was so true. It did. It literally. I went outside within 3 minutes of getting the email that the package was dropped off, and it was gone. I got my package today though, because I put a knock on the door when they got here, so I would know to go right out there. And I got my Soda Stream, so.
You got a fountain?
What?
You telling me
I guess kind of.
You got a pop machine in your house now? What?
Pretty much. You just got to fill it up with CO2 and with
filling it up with CO2 is not a difficult task in this day and age.
Yeah, you buy it.
You just fart in a bottle.
I was thinking just like exhaling a lot to release gas.
Oh, you wanted me to like blow up the Soda Stream?
Yeah.
It's got a hose and you just blow into it. And when you're not using the Soda Stream, it doubles as a beer bong.
That's right. That's a reference to
Bong.
Evil Bong. Evil Bong 666, the movie I didn't watch.
I'm so glad that our next movie marathon is going to be like something good, because I am still like reeling from that Evil Bong marathon. It's crazy.
Honestly, I sometimes think about how unreal the experience was of watching those Spider-Man movies and finding out that I really don't like watching the original 3 Spider-Man movies like at all. Like I remember them
being elderly, I guess.
I remembered them being like, well, I remember the first 2 being good and the third one being funny, and then I had never even seen Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 all the way through, but I knew they were bad. But I enjoyed them way more than the first 3. And then Homecoming was like the best movie I've ever seen after watching all of those. Which is crazy, because that movie is like, it's a good movie, but it's not like awesome.
It's okay. The other two Spider-Man movies are so much better.
Are those in this next marathon?
That Far From Home opinion is actually very controversial now.
I know, because people are weird.
I like it.
Usually, like for Black Widow's case, it's I don't like women in my movie. Women bad. Jamie, pull it up. You know. But like the Far From Home, I don't even know what the Far From Home problem is, because like the one that I get is like Mysterio doesn't use real magic. It's like, who cares? They still did the cool like magic scene with Mysterio. Like I don't know what the issue is here. Do you not like it because he relies on Tony Stark still? Guess what, dumbass? Tony Stark is a big part of the Marvel Universe. Like,
I do think that's people's main issue with all of those Spider-Man movies, is that he's
a Stark
Iron Man Jr. or whatever.
But like also like how is that like I don't get it. He's not really. And also like it makes sense.
Yeah, rewatching Homecoming, it was way less of that.
Tony Stark was barely in that movie. And like, yeah, he uses a Stark suit. Who cares? Would you rather him go fight in like a boxing ring and say, "Nice outfit. Did your husband get it for you?" I don't know. It feels like the people who complain about Far From Home are the same people who like the Tobey Maguire movie. And they're okay. But they're not great, guys. Let's be real.
Shocked.
The only good part was the J. Jonah Jameson segments. That's the only part that I liked.
That's just because J.K. Simmons is such a great guy.
I really did not expect to hate Tobey Maguire as much as I did. Like he's such an
unlikable character.
He's so bad. I could not believe it.
And a lot of people are just nostalgic.
I don't understand why people like them so much. Like genuinely,
probably
I don't understand why people.
Well, probably like what Noah said. It's nostalgia.
I mean, but like I was nostalgic for them.
So was I.
Yeah, but then you rewatched them and you got a better opinion about them. So.
And then I watched the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and they were like good. Like the second one is dumb, but I liked watching it, which is great. Which was better than the first three.
Well, it could also be that Tobey Maguire ones were so bad, and then we recently just
No.
Get this off my screen. Don't chat. No. Don't show that either.
Okay, Wordle. Let's see what the Wordle is going.
Anyway, I think maybe it's because we watched the Tobey Maguire ones. They're so bad, and then like the Garfield ones were they were better, but they felt so much better just because we watched them all like back to back. It could be like the we could call it the marathon effect. You know, like the butterfly effect.
Yeah, maybe No Way Home is going to be the worst movie we've ever seen when it's number.
I doubt it. I love that movie so much.
It's going to be good. All of those Marvel movies we've got lined up for that one are going to be.
Stop putting it in the chat. Stop.
Wow.
We're gonna have to move over to a private VC for future episode recordings.
Yeah, I'm honestly really hyped for all of them because all of those movies are going to be like good.
I mean, we're watching Thor Ragnarok, which Tyler has seen before. We know that movie. Infinity War, which we know is good. Endgame, which we know is good. You know, like these are like the biggest money. Literally, like, you know, Infinity War, Endgame, and No Way Home are like the three big money makers of the MCU. So, you know, and they're all great. They're all great movies. And, like, you know, I'd say, obviously, me liking Age of Ultron is a controversial opinion, you know?
Yeah, I still don't really agree with you on that one, but I have rewatched it recently, and I did, just like the movie.
But, like, where is the line, right? Because No Way Home is so much better than that movie, like, objectively. So why do people hate it so much?
Hate No Way Home?
Yeah. And it's like, because like...
I think people... I mean, it's super fan servicey. And, like, that's the point of the movie. But...
It's not
I think you'll find that
it's not that fan servicey. The only fan servicey bit is the fact that like half of the villains in the movie, spoiler, Tyler,
It's okay, I'll be watching this movie soon anyways.
Half the villains in the movie are like ex-Tony Stark employees, right?
That does not spoil much for me because I don't remember a lot of them, so...
Oh, I mean Far From Home. People don't hate No Way Home. I've been talking about Far From Home this whole time.
Oh, so we're on the same page then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Far From Home is not really fan-servicing.
Yeah, No Way Home is 100% fan service.
That's why I was like exploring my brain to figure out what you were talking about, because I was like, it's pretty much just a fan service movie. Like,
it's good though. The story is still great, and it like fits. You know, it was a little annoying because every Marvel movie is multiverse central now, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think its pacing is kind of weird, but it doesn't really negatively affect it that much.
But like Far From Home, like what are you doing about?
Likus got the Mexico lighting.
I did have the Breaking Bad Mexico filter on me now.
A ghost turned on the kitchen lights.
The ghost of Ghosty. But anyway, Far From Home, like, it's funny to look back on it, and the fact that like most people come with modern Marvel is the end of now post Infinity Endgame, which is funny because Far From Home introduces the term Avengers level threat, quote unquote. But like, it is a very like street level Spider-Man movie. It doesn't take place obviously in like New York on street level. But Mysterio, regardless of the fact that he calls himself an Avengers-level threat, is not an Avengers-level threat whatsoever. Just as much as, like, frickin' Vulture is, I guess, selling illegal weapons black market, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's not that deep. Like, yeah, he gets, like, quote-unquote control over Stark Tech weapons at one point. Doesn't do anything with that at all.
They do really hit above their weight class, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, Spider-Man goes somewhere else that's not New York, but like...
Yeah, because like normally Mysterio's comic book deal is he like has his green fart cloud and then like disappears and hits Spider-Man.
I'm evil and magic and I've got a fishbowl on my head.
I'm gonna release my green fart cloud.
Like, the only thing I remember about Mysterio is the zombie Spider-Man comic, where Spider-Man can tell which Mysterio clone is real by sensing his brain.
Yep.
And that's, like, the only one I remember. Like, there's probably good Mysterio stories that I can't think about, because I honestly haven't read that many Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
But...
It's called, Disney Infinity 2.0, the Spider-Man campaign. Which you only fight Mysterio in, like, the 10 minutes. Game, but peak Mysterio content. But yeah, so we're gonna do a good movie marathon, and then the weekend after Memorial Weekend, next one, Memorial Day, maybe.
I think me and Noah had planned to do a marathon. I don't know if Likus is 100% invited, obviously, because we're talking about it in front of him. But I don't know what we were gonna do then. We had a few ideas for what we were gonna do.
We were probably gonna do a Disney marathon because every other marathon we looked at, we had to pay for at least one movie.
Oh my god! So MGM Plus has like every movie on these marathons. It is insane. Every time like Noah was suggesting a marathon, I'd look it up. MGM Plus, MGM Plus, MGM Plus. Like, I've never heard of MGM Plus. Why is American Psycho on MGM Plus?
Mom is calling. I'll be back. Help. I can't mute.
Alright, Pringleson.
So when Noah comes back, we'll get into the main topic of this video, even though we're an hour in.
Oh, that's a good idea. Are you ready for us to switch out Thor Ragnarok for The Fly?
No.
Just so you have to review it again.
Nope. I will never be watching that movie again. I still don't like it. Okay. I don't know what marathon we're gonna do. We're probably gonna do. What are we gonna do? Oh, we might do Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, that'd be all right.
Or we're gonna do Pixar.
That's long, isn't it? 'Cause there's like 6 movies.
Yeah, both. Well, Pixar would be a pretty long one too. We could do Sonic. That's a short one, but we can't. Those are on Paramount Plus, so we can watch those. I really want to watch. I really want to watch Ted and Ted 2, but I cannot find them for the life of me. So we might have to purchase those. I want to do the Seth MacFarlane marathon with Ted, A Million Ways to Die in the West, and Ted 2.
Wow.
That will be
Can't
funny.
wait.
That'll be a funny one. Well, I don't know about A Million Ways to Die in the West. Ted 2 will be really fucking funny, though. I really should I really should just do a Mark Wahlberg marathon. Mark Wahlberg, by the way, he must be in like some sort of contract with Paramount, because like 90% of the movies that are on Paramount Plus, he stars in. Like Italian Job, Instant Family, for some reason not Ted or Ted 2. The Gambler. I mean, there's a ton of these movies that he stars in, and so many more that I haven't watched yet. It's insane. He must have like some sort of contract. It's crazy. But so that's that.
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't know how. Yeah. Maybe I could become a Paramount Plus star.
Well, there's like 3 ways that you do that nowadays. Either you work on a South Park special, because they love doing those. You're Mark Wahlberg, or sports. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, they canceled iCarly, didn't they?
Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah, they canceled that on a fucking cliffhanger, which really pissed me off.
Were they gonna have like
spoiler
like,
alert? They
Barley or Freddy, or they were gonna have a child or something?
No, he's spoiler alert again. Anybody who hasn't watched the series, or obviously LikunMiffery who hasn't either. The last episode before they canceled it, was Carly and Freddie were, I think, about to get married, if I remember correctly. There was some sort of marriage happening. And at the very end of the episode, Carly's mom walks in the door, but we don't see her. We just get acknowledgement that she is there. And then the episode cuts off, and then they canceled it.
Her mom?
Yes. What the fuck?
Why?
Why would you... Number one, why would you do that and then cancel it? Number two...
Why would you do that at all?
It only made sense. I mean, they got through, 2-3 seasons of this show? I mean, it was only natural. Like, they were running out of stuff to do. They had already done the Return of Nora. They had already done the Thingamaboober 1. And they already like, retied a bunch of different, like, things together. It was only natural that this was like the last thing that they could have possibly done. And it really pissed me off that we left it on a fucking...
Are we talking about Evil Bong?
No, we're talking about iCarly.
Oh! I thought you were talking about the final Evil Bong movie, and I was like, who's Nora?
No.
His name's Larnell.
Anyways, that pissed me off. Really pissed me off. I did not... It was a good show, too. I liked the new characters. I thought the old characters worked well with the new ones. Everybody's still...
Yeah, Carly's friend was, I think.
Yeah, and the little girl was good, too. Jerry Trainer was really good in his return. Freddie was good. Mrs. Benson was good. I don't remember any of the other characters that came back, but there were more. So,
yeah. How did you end up here?
We were rambling on about stuff while you were on a phone call. Anyways, fuck you, Paramount, for canceling the show on a cliffhanger.
Oh, because MGM Plus owns literally every movie under the sun, and we can't do any movie marathons
without getting a MGM Plus subscription. Yeah,
Likus,
that's so crazy.
Get on it.
You're not getting an MGM Plus subscription.
I can't
Why?
even. I don't
You're in
even.
Mexico. The prices are cheaper there.
Anyways, so we're an hour and 6 minutes into this episode. Let's get down to the original topic. The hot topic.
Or do you want to cut it off here and start a new one?
I guess we could.
I think we can get it done.
Entire podcast.
No, we can keep going. We can keep going. I don't.
Are you sure? Because I've got a lot to say about this topic.
We're doing a double episode. Okay. I don't. Do you? I need validation.
I don't know what you mean.
Let's just continue.
Hello?
On. Let's just continue.
Okay. 2-hour episode.
Let's go,
Only
baby.
fitting for the return.
So there's a very hot topic internet debate going on right now of whether who would win, 100 men or a gorilla. I had this conversation at work a few times, and there's varying opinions on the ordeal, and it's not a
Ordeal.
It's not as cut and dry as it seems. There's a lot of factors that you have to consider when making your decision on who would win. And that's what we're going to discuss now is a lot of these elements. Who would win? 100 men on paper. You know, there's two extremes, I think, to the answer scale here. There's either the people
one gorilla or 100 men.
Exactly. Well, there's people like, oh, the gorilla would kill all 100 men, or the men would overpower the gorilla and it would easily win. Like, everybody's like, duh, that would be it. That would be what it is. That's not necessarily the case. You gotta remember, 100 men, that's a lot of men, right? It's a lot of men. I don't even know if I could fit 100 men in this room. Maybe.
Do you want to try? Vlog?
Yeah, Tyler would like to have that many men.
We'll do that one the same day as Pringleson eats an entire can of pudding.
Yeah, but also, that's a lot of men, right? But also, a gorilla, especially a silverback, very large animal. Okay? Very large.
How many gorillas could you fit in your basement?
Probably 10. Depends on how big they are. If they're silverbacks, maybe 3.
Yeah, wait. How big do you think they are?
Gorillas are huge. Have you never been to the zoo and seen one? They're huge.
They can't be that big.
Silverbacks
They're
are
pretty big.
Silverbacks are massive. If it's like a female gorilla, maybe like they're not as big.
I'm like looking around my room to see if I have anything to reference the size of a gorilla. They're like this big, about as big as a TV disc.
They're like this big.
Quit fondling my game.
This is collecting dust. What the how?
Because
Probably
you
'cause
keep
you have to
fondling
take-
it.
Anyway,
We're getting too close to the showing things off in our room
the
area of content.
the first, I think, Aunt Pomeroy cameo. What? Anyway, the first consideration that you have to take into account is the let's say the gorilla. If it's a silverback, it's going to be very, very tough to take down, because they are completely jacked, and they are lethal. Gorillas are huge. But the other consideration is the men. Now, we all know men are stupid. I touched an exhaust pipe thinking it was a prime button on my lawnmower. Okay? So,
Real.
men are dumb, right? But it's still 100 men. You would think, oh, maybe it could overpower the gorilla, and but they're not smart, right?
You always know just what I'm thinking, Pringleson.
And here's the thing: I've seen sort of memes about this all over social media and whatnot. It's like, and then it's like, also like multiple different and it's also like giving me perspective on multiple vantage points and how people are approaching the situation. Like, do you go
vantage points. If I were one of 100 men, I would take this vantage point against the gorilla.
Well, it's like, would all the 100 men go at it at once, or would you line up and do it one at a time, or would you like?
Are we talking
split
about
up
fighting
the-
a gorilla?
You obviously don't do it one at a time.
All right, your turn. Go fight the gorilla. It's like a
Guy
gladiator
who's
match.
first in line to fight the gorilla with his bare hands.
Bare hands. Now we're talking.
And also another factor: who specifically would you recruit to be in this 100 men army? Would it be like?
I assume that it's a randomized. It's like Thanos when he snaps his finger and eliminates half the world. Spoilers for the movie marathon we're doing this weekend. You know, it's randomly. It's so like you don't get to choose. You don't get to say, all right, Dwayne Johnson, John Cena, and that really buff dude. I
love
very unspecific.
Okay, I love that me and Noah's first person to fight the gorilla was The Rock.
Well, he's kind of like a gorilla, right?
He was our best candidate to fight.
Let's be careful here because I'm not talking about skin color. But like muscle-wise, The Rock is fairly similar to a gorilla.
Oh yeah, for sure.
On top of the fact that he starred in that one movie with the big gorilla, Rampage, the movie. We watched that movie, and he knows how to talk to gorillas, right? Clearly, he has some gorilla experience that he can use by himself as we send him in one at a time to fight this gorilla, right?
Exactly.
And he just looks at it and says, I know George. He's a pretty big gorilla. He's white. He's an albino gorilla. I can handle this gorilla. And me personally, genuinely, without like a shadow of a doubt, I think I could take a gorilla one-on-one. I have reasons, but we'll continue on. I think I could take the gorilla in a 1v1.
I could not. I would need help.
I think you could after you hear my plan. But let's assume that we're not sending people in one at a time, and let's just random, because obviously, you know, picking The Rock and John Stamos and Danny DeVito, he'd be a good gorilla father.
Danny DeVito would be a good gorilla father.
I said father.
Who could father the most gorillas?
You come to me on the day of my ripe banana with a question.
Oh, yeah.
Who would win in a fight? 100 men, one gorilla. I should have you killed for and put a gorilla head in you. I'm Danny DeVito. Chutzpah!
Oh yeah, the Soda Stream is very good, by the way.
I'm Danny DeVito.
We're both drinking MSU cups.
I move my hands like Donald Trump, and I sound like a godfather because I fathered the gorilla. I'm also a little bit like Christopher Walken. Gorillas are a plague on humanity. And we must send 100 men, one at a time, to fight the gorillas. They're aliens. They don't belong in this country. We have to send ice at them, one at a time, legally, above the book.
Does Ice get to have guns for the gorilla fight?
No, they get to have ice.
Mr. Freeze?
Ice Cube.
Ooh,
Dude,
good.
Cube would body a gorilla.
Okay. So if in the event that the people to fight the gorilla were specifically chosen, what if he came up with like 10 people and they were like the team captains, and then they each chose 9 people of their own to fill out the rest of the
Let's pick 10 people. We already know that The Rock is definitely. Let's be serious here. Let's pick 10 people. I picked The Rock. Tyler, who are you picking next?
I'd have to go Danny DeVito. I think that he would recruit some good people, and I think he could use his wits to.
He knows Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then we don't have to pick Arnold as one of the.
He also knows he's also can recruit a bunch of penguins, so. And they don't count towards the 100 men.
Oh, we get bonus?
Yeah.
I just realized that you were referencing Batman Returns. That is a wild reference. Okay, so we've got The Rock and Danny DeVito. I forgot. We have two people, and I already forgot who they were. Likus, who's your third pick? Serious picks. Danny DeVito is actually a legitimate pick based on the people he could pick.
Jack Black. Because
Tyler,
his charisma.
You're skipping Likus.
You took my turn. You took my choice, too.
Jack Black is your choice?
He knows Kung Fu.
Very true.
True. He's also very good at the saxophone, which we'll get into.
He can serenade.
Oh, no.
My next pick has got to be that really buff dude. I'll find him. I will find him.
Vince
You'll
Vaughn?
know who I'm talking about. No.
Are you good at finding buff men on the internet?
Vince Vaughn's not that buff, but he is a big dude. I feel like he would be good in a fight.
Who the hell is Vince Vaughn?
He's the saboteur guy in Lost World.
Why would that be? That's not who I'm. When I said very buff dude, you pictured Vince Vaughn.
I wasn't thinking about very buff dude. I was just thinking about Vince Vaughn.
You were just thinking about Vince Vaughn for fun.
Yeah, I love the movie Wedding Crashers.
Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall is his name. I gotta pick Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall is a beast. If you've never seen Eddie Hall, the dude is insane. He'll go to weightlifting competitions, and everybody else will they do this weird thing, right? They pick up. Tyler's gone.
I'm still here.
This wheel thing, right? And it's like they're on a grinder, like at a windmill, and then they walk around in a circle, but it's really heavy, and then they drop it, and wherever they drop it is like the point, right? Vince Vaughn will go until he literally passes out. Not Vince Vaughn, Eddie Hall. The dude is jacked. And he like, you want to talk about gorillas? That dude is a gorilla, dude. That dude can kill somebody. And I've seen him lift really deadlift really large weights, and he's going at it so hard that he starts bleeding out of his eyes. It's insane. The dude is an easy choice for a team captain of gorillas, and if he's like that, I can't even imagine what his gym partners are like. And if he's picking them, the win is in our hands. Number 5, Tyler, who are you picking?
I have to go with, you guys know the competition, World's Strongest Man, and there's the really viral video of this dad who pulls a truck with a monster truck tire behind it or something.
Sure.
No.
He pulls their family truck down their street.
I thought you were going to talk about that Olympic deadlifter guy whose wife died. And there's a really cute animation because he wins the golden medal. So they did this really cute animation because he's struggling to get it up. Most men have this problem.
Speak for yourself.
And the cute little animation, his ghost wife comes in and helps him lift it the rest of the way, and he ends up getting a gold medal. And he's crying, and he brought a picture of it. It's really sad and it's really cute. But I thought you were talking about that guy.
I was not.
I would not pick that guy because he would bring his dead wife with him, and that's not good for a pick against a gorilla. Real.
That's like bringing 99 guys.
Exactly. Also, she's a woman. Which, honestly, if we expanded it and it wasn't 100 men and it was 100 people, there are some women that we could throw in there. If anything else, to get rid of them. Like Amy Schumer.
So you're saying I should throw? So you're saying I should throw James Corden into the mix so we just get rid of him?
My health bar is decreasing again.
Yes. Okay. Dwayne Johnson, Danny DeVito, Jack Black, Eddie Hall, guy who lifts truck, and James Corden. We have 4 more picks. James Corden gone.
Gordon Ramsay.
Good.
Oh, that's a great idea because he can make food to distract the gorilla.
He can feed the gorilla.
He is equipped with 2 slices of white bread. What are you? I'm a gorilla. But like James Corden is gonna bring like my least favorite people on the planet. Seth Rogen, gone. Adios. Goodbye. Sayonara. What did we just pick?
James Corden.
What did I say? Oh, Gordon Ramsay.
Oh yeah, Gordon Ramsay. So we had 2 more. No, 3 more.
3 more.
3 more.
Ow.
Let's think. Gotta think about another good one.
I think honestly, oh God, why can't I remember his name? Rocky Balboa.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know the actual actor's name, but
Actually, let's be honest. Danny DeVito or The Rock is inviting him. On top of the fact that he's probably like 90 years old.
oh,
So, ooh. Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, true.
There's a choice.
He has the hammer.
He has the hammer. He's not allowed to bring it in, but because the hammer is magical, he'll get in there without a weapon. So no weapon, and then he'll just like.
Oh. What about we gotta bring Samuel L. Jackson to this fight, right?
Oh, motherfucker! You were so on point.
So we need one
Jackson. One more, Likus. One more. Get off your phone.
I'm not on my phone.
Pick one more, Likus.
I'm thinking. Logan Paul.
Faster. Oh, Jesus Christ. Logan Paul, you didn't even pick the one that boxes. You chose Logan Paul and not Ray Paul. So that's crazy. Do you think he would bring his brother with him? He's bringing KSI and Mr. Beast with him.
Well, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
He's definitely going to bring Jake Paul with him.
Mr. Beast connection.
How could he bring Mr. Beast if Mr. Beast is the one putting the order together?
I don't know.
Today, I brought 100 men and 1 gorilla. We're going to see who wins.
Oh boy.
Soy Dora.
All right, so who's our cast? Let's see.
Dwayne Johnson, Danny DeVito, Jack Black, Eddie Hall, guy who pulled truck, James Corden, Chris Hemsworth, Logan Paul,
Samuel Jackson,
Sam Jackson, and Gordon Ramsay.
and then
I think you just need those 10 people, if we're going to be honest. Those are some legendary people, including the gorilla father himself, Danny DeVito.
I mean, yeah, that might be all you need. That would be an interesting fight. At that point, like, we know 100 men are defeating the gorilla, maybe without any casualties. So
I hope at least 1 casualty. That's the only reason James Corden is on this team.
Isn't that why we brought Logan Paul?
Oh!
okay, so we can have
He's gonna feed him. But Logan Paul's like a legitimate choice because he's gonna bring lunch for the gorilla and it's gonna be covered in like asbestos.
Oh, we'll kill the gorilla.
He's gonna get lead poisoning from Prime and mold from Lunchly, whatever the fuck it's called. When are we gonna do a food break?
Pringleson, set that up now.
that has to come to me.
We can do Pringle. We can do
Pringles.
Pringleson themed Pringles. No, we gotta do Mountain Dew Rampage.
Oh yeah.
That's a collab with Mountain Dew. Listen, if Dr. Disrespect can get a collab with like G Fuel, I don't see why we can't collab with.
It's possible. We can definitely do it.
And he's a
Dr.
pedophile.
Disrespect do something, yeah.
But
yeah.
okay. So let's say I want to hear someone Noah's takes because he's been thinking
Well,
about
okay,
this
so
one.
first off, if we go under the assumption that it's random gorilla, I think the odds are in our because there are not that many gorillas on the planet, so the odds are smaller that you'll get like a good gorilla, because most of them, like, there's not, ratio wise, there's not that many silverbacks compared to like baby gorillas, and obviously 100 men could kick the shit out of a baby gorilla, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not a fair fight though. We'd have to do an adult
but it's
gorilla.
random, and it is a fair fight because it's random.
Well, I didn't know the gorilla selection was also random. I thought it was just the human selection.
Why would the gorilla selection not also be random?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, you know, the team that we put together is going head to head with silverback gorilla, obviously, and they're taking it down easily, right? But 100 random men versus a silverback gorilla specifically, I think that gorilla's taking the cake there, almost literally, probably. Well, no, chimpanzees are the ones that are... So it's probably not. Well, maybe. I've never been with a gorilla before.
True.
Truth be told, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
Wow.
Gorillas. I know, my statement is very profound. Like 100 random men, right? If we went to Kroger right now and grabbed every man that we saw, including ourselves, that gorilla's soloing, you know? Eli snapped like a twig, right? Pingle is probably gonna run away shitting his pants and then just get like bodied by the... He'll probably fall and kill himself by accident, to be honest. I am going to enact my plan, and it's probably not going to work with there being 99 other people there, which is why it needs a one-on-one solo excursion with gorilla, right? Likus is probably going to accept his fate. I take Likus as a, like, yeah, gorilla time. I'll probably say something funny, like, flint and steel, and then the gorilla will just, like, backhand.
I'm glad no one has a lot of confidence in me on Miffery.
Listen, buddy. I have no confidence in myself, assuming that there are 99 other people there, because they're going to fuck it up. I know that you're not surviving a gorilla fight, Tyler. And if I had any thought in my mind that Likus would fight for his life and not just accept his fate, then I would say Likus might have a chance, because he's intelligent. More intelligent than a gorilla.
That's true. I am smarter than a gorilla.
I'm not sure
He'd be activated again.
Tyler, get off your phone.
He just found a funny minion meme.
Yeah, he's on Facebook looking at minion.
True.
While he's getting his ass pounded by a gorilla. But yeah, 100 random men. I think the odds are in the gorilla's favor as silverback, or even like just like a regular male gorilla probably gonna kill all of those people because they're hella strong. Like normally when you talk about a gorilla fight, you're like, what would win in a fight, a gorilla or a grizzly bear? People are like, I don't know. I think it's the gorilla personally.
Probably
because
is the
it has
gorilla.
Thumbs.
Yeah.
Thumbs are a big deal in the gorilla world. Have you seen Godzilla vs. King Kong?
In the gorilla world.
Axe. The gorilla could get its hands, like, legitimately, we're assuming that the gorilla will kill you and then discard your body. That gorilla could be swinging your body at everybody else, killing everybody with your body.
That's true.
And I mean, like, a gorilla with a weapon is like 15 unarmed gorillas. So, like, we're losing if that gorilla gets a gun, right?
Well, if we're bringing weapons into this, it's a completely different story on both ends.
The idea is that the gorilla uses you as a weapon.
Oh, you're saying I'm gonna bring? You're saying I'm gonna have just to have a gun on me?
No, the gun is a metaphor for you.
Oh, it's like the opening scene of Deadpool 3 when he uses the.
Oh my god.
I'm not going to give you my weapons, but I promise I won't use them. And he just starts using the skull of a fucking Wolverine and just does things.
Tyler, when he can't remember the name of the other half of the movie.
And then he goes, bye, bye, bye. Na, 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 na.
Do you think Ryan Reynolds would win against a gorilla?
No, he'd be too busy trying to get the gorilla to purchase Mint Mobile.
That's, I had that thought as you are so right. Which brings me to my plan, actually, oddly enough.
Mint Mobile.
Is this related to Mint Mobile?
Sponsored by Mint Mobile. So I think that I could win one by one in a 1v1 with the gorilla with intelligence alone. I know how the gorillas work. I've seen Harambe, right? So this is like legitimately, right? When the kid falls into the gorilla pen, Harambe doesn't kill the kid. The kid is still alive and probably feels like crap because he's been bullied his whole life because the gorilla is dead and he's alive, right? But the gorilla doesn't kill him, right? Now, you might be wondering, is that because it's a child? Probably more likely because this kid didn't show any aggression towards the... Basically, my plan is it's going to be a 99 men versus one gorilla, one man riding said gorilla. If I use my brain, my inner
What are you doing with the gorilla?
My monkey instinct, all I need is to say, you're a gorilla. You like bananas. You kill all 99 of those men. And I'll be doing it in sign language, right? So I'll be like... I'm going to walk up to the gorilla like this. With my antlers and be like, you like bananas, don't you, gorilla? And he'd be like, uh-huh. And then I'd be like, kill those 99 men for me. And we will share bananas together. And he'll be like, okay. And then he'll kill them all. And then it'll just be me and the gorilla, and we'll hang out.
And then you dap him up.
Yeah. I like gorillas a lot. Not in a sexual way.
You are riding the gorilla.
Yeah, but more as like a friend with...
Where's he going with this?
More like a friend would ride another friend. That statement doesn't sound any better.
Pringleson, what do you and Noah do when you're alone together?
Watch terrible movies.
Yes.
But anyway, I think that like you could coerce a gorilla to doing things. If you could teach a gorilla sign language, you could win a fight 1v1 gorilla. 1v1.
Blah, blah, blah.
And I don't think it would be that hard because all you could is like instill the fear of death in the gorilla, but not in like I'm gonna kill you, but more like one day you're gonna die. And then the gorilla will be like, I understand my mortality now, said the gorilla.
Sounds like a children's book.
And it'll be like, why am I wasting my one and only life killing 100 men when I could be wasting my life, my one and only life, playing World of Tanks, today's sponsor. Listen, I know I gave Mint Mobile and World of Tanks sponsorship. Insert ad here. This could be you. Pay me. Pay us. But pay me.
Pay me instead.
Don't pay him.
Pay me.
And I know he's down there because we've discussed this.
Oh.
Likus is over here. Hello, Likus.
Hello, Jeffrey.
You look the wrong way, Likus.
No, I didn't.
That's gonna. You
Look the wrong way. Noah's looking at me right now.
It's gonna be so funny when you watch this back.
Are you telling me that he's over here?
No,
Okay.
no.
Hello, Jeffrey.
Noah, turn around.
Wait,
No,
so
Likus,
we
stay where
both-
you're at. Okay, no, Likus, stay where you're at. Nope, turn. There you go. Yep. Now both wave.
It's
Both
not
wave.
possible for it to be
Both,
like this.
both wave. Both wave.
It's not
Like this.
possible.
Just do the wave. There you go. You both waved at each other now. There you go. Did it.
How can his camera be flipped?
That's not possible.
It is possible. Likus is on the left of Noah, and Noah's on the right of Likus.
Then why did Noah go that way?
Would Noah have to wave this way?
No!
Tyler, what are you talking about?
This is gonna be so funny when you guys watch it back and realize
It's not possible for us to be looking at each
What
other
about
like
cameras
that.
would have to be flipped?
it's not flipped.
What are you talking about?
It's not flipped. I don't know what you're talking about. Why does it have to be flipped?
Because there's no way we can both be looking at each other when we're both this way.
We're both facing the same direction, Tyler. We're
No,
both
you're
facing
not.
to the right of
No,
the
you're not. No, you're not.
What?
You're just flipping my screen?
Oh my god, it's gonna be so funny when you watch this back. Oh.
Anyway, Likus, thoughts on 100 men versus one girl?
I think, like, I don't know. I do think there's a chance, even with, like, a silverback gorilla, that 100 guys may beat it. Not a good chance. But, like, maybe.
If you get the gorilla's metabolism down, you could probably do it.
Oh, if you, like, starve it out.
Yeah, if you just wait it out for a little bit, and then he's, like, tired or whatever. Like Life of Pi, but it's a gorilla instead of a tiger.
Yeah.
What a terrible movie that is.
That's an unpopular
Oh.
opinion, apparently.
Really?
I guess. A lot of people rave about that movie.
I've never seen it.
And yet hate Age of Ultron. What a backwards world we live in.
Wow. Society.
Society, indeed.
What do you
Indubitably.
think, Pringleson?
I think 100 men could defeat a gorilla.
Nice. Do you think 100 men could defeat Ultron?
I haven't seen that
So
movie yet,
this
so
is where... Okay, so good segue,
Wait.
Likus.
Wait. We're skipping Age of Ultron?
We already watched Age of Ultron.
Oh, we did? Oh shit. I don't remember it.
Don't worry, common consensus, Tyler, apparently.
That we haven't watched it? Okay.
No, that nobody remembers Age of Ultron. Because they all assume it's bad.
It's okay. Ultron is going to be in the Vision Quest show that's going to come out sometime, probably never. So,
Almost never. When is the... What the fuck was the last Marvel show? Oh, Daredevil. That doesn't really
Daredevil
count,
like a week
though, does
ago.
it?
And they announced they
count.
did the first trailer for Ironheart today.
Is it bad?
I watched the trailer. It's not like it doesn't seem terrible. I don't know. It seems like I'm not going to watch it. But like
Yeah, me neither.
it doesn't seem
you
like
get-
terrible.
So I doubt Tyler saw this, but did you see that Jeremy Renner, they asked him, after he got into a motorcycle accident, they asked him to come back for Hawkeye season, but they only offered him half the money they did last time.
What?
They only offered him half the money. Random podcast. He comes on ours next week. What's up?
Oh, yeah. Was he going to just not be in it way less or something?
I don't know, because the way he plays it off, the way he talks about it, and I don't know what side of this is true, but if we're going on what we know about Disney Company and about large corporations like that, we can assume that they offered him half the money because they consider him half of a man after the motorcycle accident. Right?
Yeah.
But he'd have to put in twice the work to get back to regular Jeremy Renner for the show.
Yeah.
And so that season 2 of Hawkeye is definitely not happening. Is the point here.
I wonder what it was even going to be about.
I don't know. Kingpin comes back again.
All about the
See, I haven't watched
baby. Let's go,
Daredevil yet, so I don't even know if he's still alive at the end of Daredevil. So
I never finished Daredevil. I should finish Daredevil, but I haven't yet. Should get on that. But anyway, segue with Ultron, 100 men, 1 Ultron. First of all, Ultron solos those 100 men.
oh, that's
Secondly,
true.
where do you draw the line? In a 1v1 with an animal, where do you draw the line? What animal do you think you could beat in a fight before the next animal up on the food chain you can't beat?
Or I can beat a frog. Or a swan. I can be a raccoon, probably.
His first jump was frog.
I can be a deer.
You could not beat a deer.
100 me, good.
This is 1 versus 1.
1 me?
100 Likus is getting fodderized by a deer.
I could maybe a fox. I could be.
I don't know if I could beat a fox. If a fox was like biting me, like I couldn't beat a dog in a. You know what I mean? But I guess it depends on the dog and how far I can kick the. I draw the line at goose. I could beat a goose in a fight, but I cannot beat a swan in a fight.
Is that contentious?
I think it is. There are a lot of people that don't think that I could beat a goose. Specifically.
You specifically?
I assume people look at me and say, that guy can't beat a goose in a fight. They're wrong. I could definitely beat a goose in a fight. Barehanded, even. Actually, human-handed, even.
Yeah.
I draw the line. I draw the line at dodo.
He picks a dead animal.
What is below and above a dodo bird in this like hierarchy?
Well, I'm going off of ARC stats, so it would probably be capybara tortoise or whatever it's called.
Carbonemus?
Yeah. Tortoise.
How do you not know? You're the dinosaur guy.
That's a reptile.
So Likus is... I mean, you can't really yell at Tyler for picking dodo because you literally started with frog, and then your next up from frog was raccoon, and your next up from raccoon was fox. Or actually, no, it was deer. There's a lot of animals in between deer and fox, Likus.
Okay, whatever.
But, like, legitimately, I could not beat a goose in a fight. Geese? Or, no, wait. I can beat a goose in a fight. I couldn't beat a swan in a fight. Swan is like a goose, but bigger, right? Goose is already a handful for me to kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Swan is that, like, times 2. So, like, I couldn't beat a swan in a fight. However, there are, like, certain, like... what are they called when you're, like, doing a line graph and there's... Oh, they're called outliers. I was gonna say, what do you call outliers? There are definitely outliers like that I consider above a goose that I could probably beat in a fight. Gorilla being one of them, orangutan being another. I could probably beat an orangutan in a fight because we would just be bed buddies.
You would avoid the fight.
You would just ride his friend again. Wait, I'm his friend. No, I don't like where this is going.
You're the orangutan's friend?
No, I'm the one he rides. I am the one he rides.
How are you responding to these allegations?
Tyler, please don't watch this video and please don't fanfictions from this point forward based on these allegations Tyler's throwing out there. Women.
You're the editor. You take it out if you don't.
I'm leaving it in, damn it.
Okay.
I like women, specifically ones with green hair that work at hair salons. But only the single ones.
I'm a single lady. I'm a single lady. Single lady.
Oh, God.
You guys ready for the Alvin and the Chipmunks marathon? Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. We're going to watch David Crosby, the only tolerable character for 3 movies, and then kill ourselves in the 4th one.
For Memorial Day, by the way, Likus, we decided that we're going to flip a coin. And we haven't decided which side is which, but it'll either be a Pixar marathon or Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Which Tyler thinks that Pirates of the Caribbean is going to be like Lord of the Rings. Have you seen Pirates, Likus?
Some of them.
They're nothing like Lord of the Rings, right?
No.
Okay, good. Tyler needed, like, reassurance, because I brought it up initially, and he was like, he was kind of dismissive about him, and he was like, I asked him, like, you're kind of dismissive about them, so I assumed you didn't want to do pirates. And he said, well, when we did Lord of the Rings, I really thought that was boring. And I'm like, they're nothing like Lord of the Rings. They're some of the funniest movies.
It gives off the same vibes as Lord of the Rings. I've never seen
well,
them.
there's Pirate and
Also, I have a bit of trauma when it comes to Pirates of the Caribbean because of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney World. When I was, I would have been 7 when we rode that. And there was a segment in the ride where the tour guide gets kidnapped and killed by an actor like pirates, and then the pirate hijacks the boat. And that was like some of the scariest shit ever for me when I was 7 because I didn't know it was acting.
It's like me. Same place. Wait, you went to Disney?
Yes. Is that going to be... I would say that would be a separate podcast topic, but I don't remember much out of that, except for the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, the hotel we stayed in, and the flight, and one of the rides at Epcot. That's all I remember out of our like week-long trip there.
So I don't remember how old I was. Old enough for this story to be embarrassing. But the dinosaur ride, right? Of the movie Dinosaur, right? You know what I'm talking about? The one with the lemurs.
Yeah.
And it's like the iguanodon is the main character. So there's a ride for that at Disney, right? And I didn't want to go on it because I had seen Jurassic. I know what the fuck happens when people interact with dinosaurs. And I wasn't about that life. So me and my dad got kicked off a ride because I wouldn't stop screaming and crying because I didn't want to get eaten by a dinosaur. Which is funny because the next time I went to Disney was for the trip in 6th grade. And I went on that dinosaur ride. And the ride broke when we were right in front of the Carnotaurus. And it was like... illuminated in this deep red lighting, and it was just like staring at us, and every now and again and it was like really terrifying. And I was like 14. No, I would have been like 12, I guess.
That would have made me never want to. That would have made me lose trust in everybody with that pairing of incidents.
Imagine you get on the Pirates ride, they hijack your boat, and then they break down, like, on the boat, and you're stuck with the pirate, and he's like, "Yar, I'm gonna eat ya! Yar, yar!" It
was, yeah, it traumatized me. Oh, and the Tree of Life attraction, I remember that too.
I've heard that story.
I think I talked about that before.
You did a whole video on that.
Oh, I did. Okay, good.
You said good. You said good. Thank God.
I've done a video on Test Track, which was my first roller coaster, which is in Epcot. I did a video on that too because I did a review of it, and then so there's that.
You did a review on that as if it was a roller coaster?
It is a roller coaster.
Is that true?
I don't think that's true.
Test Track is a roller coaster at Epcot. I'll look it up.
When are we going to Disney for the Disney vlog? Do we have to wait until Disney invites us?
Yeah, we're gonna need to get the VIP tour because it's like we would probably even if we were making good income from YouTube, we would be broke after buying tickets to Disney.
Like mentally, physically, or like monetarily?
All of it.
You don't want to take a picture with Stitch?
Why would we go to Disney when we could go to Universal and have a better time?
That's true. That's very real and true. They just redid their park, too.
Yeah, we could ride the Jurassic World ride. Yay! Velocicoaster. Yay! It'd be so much better than anything at Disney.
I don't know. We could ride Expedition Everest and Tower of Terror. I feel like that would freak you out. Both
Tower of Terror?
Similarly to the dinosaur ride, I to ride Expedition Everest because I thought the Yeti was real and he was going to eat me. You know, Disney does this great job at making kids believe everything real. To the point where I didn't want to go on 2 different rides because I thought the animals on the rides were real and they were going to eat me. So I had a good time at Disney, nonetheless. But yeah. So I think I could beat one Yeti in a fight. with 99 other men.
Oh, one Yeti.
Yeah. Gigantopithecus, Megapithecus.
What about one Space from the Space Mountain ride? Could you beat a Space?
Yes. Listen, if oh god, what's his name?
It is called Space Mountain.
Who's the guy from Magic School Bus who was like
Arnold?
Yeah, Arnold went to Pluto, took his helmet off, and only got a mild cold out of it.
He's right.
So
he's right. I'm beating Space in a fight. I'm just like Arnold from Family Guy.
Yeah. What about Peter Griffin? Could you beat Peter Griffin?
Yes.
Oh, I think could 100 Peter Griffins beat one gorilla in a fight? No.
No, they couldn't. And yes, you could beat Peter Griffin in a fight. He is.
I think anybody could. He's fucking useless.
Pretty much anybody could, except for maybe James
Brian, the dog. He can't beat
Doesn't
Peter.
Brian the dog get hit by a car and then die?
And then he comes back.
Yeah, and then he comes back because the show got boycotted.
Because Mel was not a good dog. What was his name?
His name was Vinny.
And doesn't he say, wow,
Vinny was a fine character. He wasn't the problem. The problem was
Vinny
who he was replaced.
Yeah. So Pringleson, should I watch every episode of Family Guy so I can rate them?
Yes.
You should also watch the last 5 movies in the Evil Bong franchise so you can share me and Tyler's pain. But watch them by yourself. Make Ann Pomeroy watch.
No.
I think she'll like Bong World.
I don't think it's ethical to do that to somebody.
Yes, it is.
You call it unethical, I call it justice. Justice for Larnell.
We gotta make Eli watch them.
Oh, Eli would love them.
They took out my man like Atticus Finch or whatever, so what's the point? You know?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
It's funny how neither me or Likus can remember that guy's name, and me and Likus both went to was Atticus Finch.
God, To Kill a
Mockingbird. Because I did that the other day.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Alistair.
Close enough. To Kill a Mockingbird might be the only movie that's worse than the Evil Bong movies. I remember that.
I don't think that movie is worse than the.
Oh my god!
Is that one at least? If that one's like a real movie, then it's automatically a long movie.
Well, I had to watch it for a project in freshman year of high school, and I remember it just being the most brutal 2 hours of my life. And the movie is terribly paced. It is so fucking boring. It is nothing like the book, and it is. Because the book is at least. Well, that's another podcast. Actually, we'll talk. Well, books will be a future topic for me.
We cannot be doing a podcast about To Kill a Mockingbird.
Not just that, okay.
I was gonna put it underneath. We ponder our orbs.
Anyways, we'll talk about it more in a different episode. But the To Kill a Mockingbird book, I actually like. It's not. It's a long book, but once it gets going,
Kill on Orange Street or whatever that fucking Mango Street. The girl on the house on Mango.
Mockingbird. He killed a dog.
What are you talking about? He killed
Atticus Finch.
He didn't kill a dog.
Yeah, he did. He shot the dog.
What dog?
With a gun.
There was a dog in To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah.
I thought it was about Scout and Boo Ridley, the guy who lives in his parents' basement.
There was also a dog.
I don't remember there being a dog.
Didn't he kill a dog? I'm looking it up.
Did Atticus Finch kill a dog? No, that's of Mice and Men, where he kills the rabbits, the dumb one. He kills the rabbits.
Dumb rabbit.
No, because that actually is in Mice of Men.
Atticus
that they
Finch
killed the dog. No.
Dog.
No, he did not.
There was a rabid dog that he killed.
No, I had Eddie Hall in my phone when I opened up. Almost naked, musky man. It was definitely in Of Mice of Men because I remember there was this one girl in the we were watching. Turn around and I don't want to hear the gunshot. Can you tell me when the gunshot happens? And I told her just before the gunshot happened, stop to pull her hands off her ears so we would hear the gunshot. I was a
Here,
menace.
I'll read to you the answer on Literature Stack Exchange about what shooting the dog represents in the story.
Literal stack exchange.
This scene is meant to reveal more about Atticus to Scout. When he kills the mad dog, and does so expertly with one shot, it shows Scout that there is more to him than a lawyer, and he knows how to shoot, and he's good at it.
There is a dog death in Of Mice and Men as well. Candy's old dog. Candy's... Thanks, AI overview. Candy's old sick dog is killed by Carlson because the dog is too old and no longer... Dog's death is a merciful act, but also a symbol of the harsh reality of migrant workers and the fate of those who are useless. Candy regrets not doing it himself, recognizes he should have ended the dog's suffering rather than let a stray. Dog's death also foreshadows Lenny's own death, as both are killed with the same pistol.
I see.
So we were both right. And wrong.
Yeah. No, you can't trust the AI overview though, because the one for the thing I looked up told me that the dog's name was One Finch. Wait.
His name was Juan Finch?
It told me the dog's name was named One Shot Finch. Which, like...
This is like when you said that instead of Jack Blacks, you said 100 blacks would win.
We have to kill the robots, dude.
We need to kill the robots. We've already established that 100 men versus one Ultron. Ultron would... How are we killing one robot?
Other
How many
robots
men would it take to kill one robot?
Listen, not all robots are Ultron, okay? None of them have that sauce.
Some of them are better. Some of them are T-1000.
That's right, like Ultron 2.0.
Well, wouldn't it just take a hacker?
Where he's like smooth.
Tyler, you are very smooth-brained, and this is why you would die in the fight against the gorillas.
Okay.
But yeah, different times, whatever we were talking about.
So what's our final stance? Yes.
Men.
100 men. Okay.
Men. I think men could beat the gorilla.
Could defeat the gorilla. Okay. That is the point that we took at work when we were talking about this. I'm glad that we were able to deeply analyze it and come up with a true solution. What's the term?
We found the right answer.
Like, as you're the math whiz here. What's the math term? Real solution. True solution. What? Isn't that like a math term? You gotta find like the real solution and the fake solution or something like that.
There's real solutions to like equations. And then there's imaginary solutions.
Well, fake ones. Okay.
What is your point, Tyler?
I don't know what my point is. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark. So.
It took us 2 hours to get to Tyler's point, and he doesn't even know what it is.
All right, well, tune in next time for us to talk about why Dr. House, a character from the show that Tyler has never seen, is the best fictional character he's ever experienced.
There was a bit of a mic cut there, so it's gonna sound like I said, why Dr. House is the best sexual character of all time. Which, is he wrong or is he right? We'll find out next time.
Dr. House should not be allowed to have sex.
Too late for that.
Tyler couldn't help himself.
Pringleson, don't do that to Dr. House.
I'm gonna stop
Tyler
that
took
conversation.
away Dr. House's virginity.
What?
Somebody close out the podcast.
So that's gonna do it. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We got lots more Strollin to do. Stay tuned for that. I don't know. Jeff of the Mellows is going to be dealing with the upload schedule for this. There probably won't even be an upload schedule. It'll just happen. But we're back, ladies and gentlemen, so see you guys later.
Permanently but irregularly.
Yeah, woohoo! Yeah, woo! Yeah, baby!